Kindly like the video and subscribe our channel for daily updates. Now, coming towards the subject, first of all, I need to identify objects from this. So, toy is an object. Manufacturing company manufactures different types of toys. So, different types means I need category also. What type of toy is this? You'll have multiple types of toys. Clay toy, wax toys, plastic toys. So, all these things you can have. The company has several manufacturing plants. So I'm not going to create object for a company, but I'm going to create object for plants. One branch is in India, another branch is in US, one more branch is in UK. Each plant manufactures different types of toys. Do we have any new object in this? So what does this line says? Relationship. It talks about relationship. Each plant manufactures different types of toys, which means what? If a toy is being manufactured in one plant, a type of toy, it will not be manufactured by other plants, because based upon that raw material available in that area, they manufacture that type of toy. Now a customer can place order for these toys. Customer can place order for these toys. So customer is an object. Order is also. This will be, you can say that here you have little assumption that you need to make, or you need to make the requirement clear, right? One order may have multiple items. So in that scenario, what do you want to do? Like you have asked that question in last session. So do you want to have separate information for that, or are you going to place one order for each item separately? So basically we will have one order, multiple items. Normally we have that. So order is also an object. Each customer has multiple ship to address. So ship to address is also one object. You're getting, whenever you say it has multiple these things, so that will become an object normally. Plant, category, toy, customer, ship to address, and order. Now for this order, I'm leaving up to you how to choose this. Now let us see relationships. Plant and category, we have one to many. In one plant, I can manufacture many types of toys. Are you getting my point? In one plant, I can manufacture many types of toys, but this type of toy should not be manufactured in many plants. So here we have one to many relationship. Next, category and toy. One category can have multiple types of or multiple toys. In one category, you can have multiple toys. Say clay is one category. You have multiple toys. You have clay cars, you have clay dolls, so multiple toys. But one toy cannot belong to multiple categories. If it is a clay toy, it cannot be a plastic, right? Next, customer and ship to address. One customer has multiple ship to address as per our requirement, but one ship to address cannot belong to multiple customer. This is as per our requirement, but in real time it can be many to many relationship also if requirement is different, because multiple customers can send order on same ship to address. That is also possible, but for our requirement we are taking this way. One customer has multiple ship to address, but one ship to address will not belong to multiple customer. Customer and toy. Customer place an order for a toy. So we are taking one customer, one toy order, many to many relationship. So this will lead to new order table. One customer can place order for one type of toy, or one type of toy can be ordered by multiple customers. Now, see, design may vary based upon some kind of assumptions. So you might have assumed something else and you might have done a different design. So that is also fine as per your assumptions. But as per this assumption, this is what we have. Now you see this. You have a plant table, plant ID, plant name, address, plant address, manufacturing plants. Now, you have categories. One plant can have multiple categories, one to many relationship. So plant ID will become foreign key here. One department can have multiple employees, same formula. So department ID becomes foreign key in employee table. The same way, plant ID will become foreign key in category table. Now one category can have multiple toys. Again, one to many relationship. Are you all getting things? Now category ID will be foreign key in toy table. Category and toy, one to many relationship. Are you all getting things? Now come to this point. Customer has multiple ship to address. Again, one to many relationship. Customer ID will act as a foreign key in ship to address. See, same formula we are applying. One department, multiple employee everywhere. Customer, multiple ship to address, contact person name, door number, colony, city, state, country, pin, customer ID. This ship to address belongs to this particular customer. One customer can have multiple ship to address. Now comes your order table. Customer ID can place an order for this particular toy ID and quantity, how many units they want, date of order, and ship to address, to what address it should be shipped. Are you getting? Ship to address. Is it meaningful? Are we missing something?
While making this, I did not make category. How did you identify that part should be there? Because directly I put plant ID in the toy ID.
Right.
Toy.
Because in our requirement, what we have, each plant manufactures. Okay, here we have a toy manufacturing company manufactures different types of toys. Different types. So you have multiple types. When you have multiple types, so type will be one object. So category, type in the sense category. Are you getting the point? See, another thing that you need to understand, this database designing, you will learn from experience. If you keep on doing many assignments, many database designs, you'll understand it more. But our main intention here is, see, if you join an organization, on the day one, they are not going to ask you to design any database, but there will be a database which is already designed and you need to work on that. So once you see the database design, you should have an idea what type of relationship we have, why are we making this relationship, why do we have foreign key here. Are you all getting my point? So once you see the database design, that is the first priority. You should be in a position to understand the relationships. If there is some kind of suggestions, you should be in a position to give suggestions. See, this can be enhanced in this way. That is the first priority. Second priority is, if there is something to be designed from scratch, you should be in a position to do that design as well. But that is hardly required in any organization. If you go, there will be already a project, there will be a database design, and you are going to work on it. So you should understand what this database design is. See, this can be enhanced a little. I need not to have customer ID here. This relationship I need not to have. Why? Because I have ship to address ID. From ship to address ID, I can get the customer ID. So this ship to address belongs to this customer. So this has been placed by, this order has been placed by so and so customer. Are you getting my point? Now, any kind of information you want, you can track from this. Tell me what information you want to track. See, this is our root table, you can say order table. I want to know the customer has placed an order and I want to know what plant is going to serve this order. What plant is going to serve this order? This is the order table. This is the plant table. How will I come to know that what plant is going to serve this order? We have toy ID, so I'll see toy ID. In this toy ID, we have category ID, so I'll see category ID. In this, I have plant ID, this plant ID. So this plant is going to serve this order. We are getting the information right? Customer has placed an order for the toy. I want to know in what category does this order or does this toy falls in? What is the category? Again, same. Toy ID, I have category ID. With category ID, I'll get category name. Are you all getting my point? Anything else you want to know? Or you have a doubt that I want this information, how can I get that information? Is it meaningful? Yes. I want to know the customer name who placed the order. How will I come to know the customer name?
From the order table, we can get the customer ID and backtrack.
I have customer ID. Yeah. I will take that customer ID and I'll check what is the name of customer with this customer ID. I'll get the customer name. Are you getting? This is what we need finally, the information. I want to know who is the contact person for this order. Ship to address ID, I'll check. Ship to address ID. Okay, this is the contact person. From there, I'll map. Fine. Is this clear?
Yes.
Next. I have one more scenario. Admin announces a workshop on a topic and assign it to the trainer. It is IT workshop management. See, there are a lot of workshops going on. So I want an application for, I want an application to manage these workshops. Some kind of workshop related to IT. So I have the requirement. Admin will announce a workshop on a topic and assign it to the trainer. Admin has rights. Admin will log in and create a workshop on particular topic, say ASP.NET, and assign it to some trainer XYZ. You are going to handle this workshop. It is on portal. Now new students register for the workshop and send a request to attend. This is what happens, right? In our real time. We are making it little more real now. New student register for the workshop and send a request to attend. And old student need not to register, right? Old student can log in and view the upcoming workshops and send a request for it without registration. New students, they need to register. Old students, they need not to register. Now, admin will approve the request sent by both kind of students and send a confirmation mail along with login credentials for new students of the portal. For new students, what they will do? They'll say this is your username and this is your password. You can attend the workshop. For old students, they'll just send a confirmation email saying that okay, you attend the workshop. Both kind of students need to carry the copy of this email on the day of workshop as a pass. After completion of the workshop, they will have secured access to the material of the workshop on the portal. Is this something real-time scenario? No? Yes?
Yes.
Now, this is the assignment for you. So I am not going to discuss this today. So I want you to work out on this, make a design, whatever it may be. Let it be 20% correct. There is no problem. But I want you to put pressure on your mind, design it. Then I'll discuss this tomorrow so that you can compare what you have done. So now you don't see database design. So I'm skipping this PPTs. All of you close your eyes. Apart from this, you can Google some kind of scenarios on, you can Google that, try to make a design, show me apart from this. Now coming towards T-SQL. I hope now you people are in a position to understand any database design. If somebody gives you the database diagram, I hope now you can understand why this is primary key, why is it a foreign key, why do we have this relationship, why do we got this new table. I hope you should be in a position to do this by this time. Fine. Now Transact SQL. See, because we are learning Microsoft SQL Server, it is Transact SQL. If you go for Oracle, it is PL SQL. So Transact SQL is, you need to get the information, or you need to manage the database, or you need to insert the records, update the records, delete the records, or read the records. If you want to perform CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete, then you need to write a query. That is your Transact SQL, structured query language. Database query and programming language used to access data, query data, update data, manage database. That is SQL. T-SQL, it is structured query language. Two main programming categories in this. One is DDL, data definition language. What we have done till now, if I want to create database, are we writing any query? You are using UI tool. Use it. That is what we do in our real-time world. If you want to create table, are we writing any query? We are just right-clicking and we are saying new database design or new table. If I want to create columns, we are just typing in UI. If I want to make primary key, we are setting from UI. Are you getting it? If I want to make foreign key, we are setting from UI. If I want to delete the table, we are just selecting it and pressing delete. So we are performing all these operations with objects. So that is data definition language. Create table, alter table, drop table. You can do all those things by writing query also. By writing query. But we will see how it looks like, that script. We can write script for creating table. We can write script for deleting table. We can write script to update the table. Table structure. I'm not talking about table data. Are you getting my point? First of all, you are creating table, then you are inserting data. So table creation, table deletion, all these things comes under data definition language. Stored procedure creation, stored procedure deletion comes under data definition language. Trigger we are creating, trigger we are deleting. In future we will see all those things. So these are all objects, you can say, related to your database. In short, to understand simply, if I want to create table, that means I'm working on data definition language. In that table, if I want to create a record, that is your data manipulation language. You are manipulating the data, inserting a record, updating a record, deleting a record, selecting a record. Select, insert, update, delete. So we are going to focus on DML, data manipulation language. This is what we are going to learn. This is what we need to do. And in this, insert, update, delete are very simple. It is not at all a big deal. Major thing is select. If you say that I'm a SQL developer, in other words, you are saying that you give me any kind of database and you ask me any kind of data from this, I can extract and show you. Are you getting my point? If you are a SQL developer, means what? You are in a position to write query on the database to get any kind of data. From the previous database design, if I ask you, I have given database diagram. If I ask you, show me how much business I got from various countries, can we extract from that design? Customer address we have. Now customer address, we need to maintain customer city, country. So customer country also we have. This customer placed many orders. So we have all the information. So we have information. Now you should write a query in such a way that you should be in a position to extract information in this way. Are you all getting my point? I want to know about the customer who gave me the highest business. So I have complete information, right? Order placed, for that order we have toy has selling price, cost price. If I subtract that, I'll get profit. From this customer I got this profit. So from all the customers I will gather the information. Are you all getting my point? See, you have attendance register and your admin will ask, now tell me how many people are present and how many people are absent. Means what? What are you doing in that? You are writing a query and you are looking, okay, counting. Today 5 people are absent. Admin needs that at the day end from this data. Are you all getting it? So that is your DML. So you need to master that. That is the main intention of learning Microsoft SQL Server. Are you all getting the things? Data manipulation language, DML, insert, update, delete, select. Select is what our main job. And this insert, update, delete are very simple things. It's not a big deal. Insert query on department. This is our department table. Department ID, department name, description. I want to insert a record in this. Till now what we have done, we used UI and we inserted. But now we are not going to use UI. We are going to write a query. Insert into table name department, then columns, department ID, department name, description, values, 1003, testing, and description. This order should match. If department ID is here, then it should be department ID. It is of type integer. These are of type string. So in single quotations we are writing. Simple query, right? Insert into table name. Then you have column names, then values. These are the values. This is hard coding. You are directly writing the values in query. This is called as hard coding. But normally what will happen? We have a form on our screen. You write, this is the department, this is the description, then you press enter, then these values goes to the database, right? So we will not write this query in our projects. So this is hard coded. So every time it will insert this record. So this value changes. Department ID will change every time. Department name may differ. So these are variables. It keeps on varies. So we need parameters in place of this. So this is our parameterized queries. Now I'll say insert into, you see this last line, that's it. Insert into department values. Now I'm not writing column names. That is also fine for me. I'm directly writing values. At department ID, at department name, at description. So these are three variables, X, Y, Z you can say. At I'm using. And I'm using the same name as column names. Now what is department ID value? This is, so you think that this value we are getting from form. Value for department name is QC. Value for description is this. Now what is at DID, at dname, at description? These are three variables, so I need to declare that. DID is varchar, or it should be integer actually. Dname is varchar, description is varchar. So this is parameterized queries. If you have understood parameterized query, that's fine. If not, don't worry. When we write our stored procedures, you'll understand that. If you have understood this, that is also fine. Now we insert records, so you get this way. So we have our organization DB. These are the tables. We have department table. In this you have department ID, department name, description. Is department ID auto-generated column? Let us see that. Edit top 200 rows. Yes, this is auto-generated column. Is it not? You see, I cannot write. Okay, no, this is not auto-generated. Design. I think we made employee ID as auto-generated. Identity, it is no. So this is not auto-generated column. So if it is not auto-generated, means what? I need to pass the value. Now, if I want to write a query, what should I do? I should open a query window. So you have new query here. Or you can say Control N. This will open a new query window. Now you are going to write a query. On what database? You should select it from available databases. If you have selected some other database and you are trying to write the query, and by looking at this database, it will not understand what you are looking. We should tell, I am looking for this database. This is the first thing. Select the database that you have created. Now you write insert query, insert into press Control and scroll for minimizing or increasing the font size. Is insert into table name. What is the table name? Department. It is showing in the IntelliSense. If you do not get it in the IntelliSense, don't worry. Close Visual your Management Studio and reopen it. You may get. Even then, if you are not getting it, it is your system problem or the version that you have installed. So don't depend on that IntelliSense. I think we can do settings. We have to check. Now, even if it is not showing in the IntelliSense, you can do one more thing. You have table name, table, you have your drag and drop, you will get the table name. And you have prefix DBO, database owner. This is schema, we call it as schema. So as of now, let us not worry much about schemas. Insert into department. You have columns. What are the various columns? Again, those column names you can drag and drop. Department ID, comma, department name, description. Then I want values. Now you pass values. Department ID 108. Department name in single quotations because it is a string. Sorry. Yes, varchar means a string. Variable length of characters. So department name PDG. Description product development group. That's it. 108 will map to department ID, PDG will map to department name. This we are going to map it to description. Simple query, right? This is how you write insert query. Nothing new in this. Now I want to execute this. You have green play button, execute. Click this, or you press F5, or you can right click and say execute. Whatever you want, you can do. One row affected. That means it has inserted one row. Let us see that. Right click, edit top 200 rows. You got 108. Simple insert query. Now let us not worry much about parameterized query as of now. The other approach is copy this, paste it here. If you want to jumble these columns, you can do that. (109). Now, whatever you write here, it will go to description column. Whatever you write, it will go to department. Description XYZ. Department name. Are you all getting this mapping? Department ID, description, then department name. Department name, description. Fine. You have one more approach that we normally use. Now I won't write column names. I'll simply say that insert into department values. And here I'll write ABC and ABC. Now you tell me what will happen.
109.
109, I'll make it 110. Otherwise it will give an error. Primary key violation. Next, ABC will be, this will be department name, and this will be description. If you do not give column names, it will follow the order in which you have created the columns. So this is what we normally, this is the way we normally write. Now column department name is ABC, and this will be your description. Fine. Now, whenever we create database, our first job is to have ample of data in our database so that you can test your application easily. You can write multiple queries. Are you getting my point? We need ample of data. Say I want some 50 records. So if I keep on typing in, then it will be time consuming. So what I can do, I have some tools online. Data generator online. Generate data. I want some ready-made queries with data because I'm a very lazy person. I don't want to insert all the records for writing queries. So here I can just write the column names. What is our, it should be exactly what we have here. What is the column name? DID. Data type. You see you have a lot of things, names and all these things. Numeric. Auto increment. I will say automatically. Start with 100. Increment by 1. This is department ID. Even though it is not auto increment over there, but I want values in this way. I want first value as 100, then 101, then 102. Next, department name. What is department name? I can go for text fixed number of words. Text fixed number of words. How many words? One word. Department name is one word, or two word department name you want, you use two words. Next, we have description. This is very interesting tool. This is also fixed number of or random number of words, because description may vary, random number of words. Randomly it should choose from 10 words to 50 words. I want description in this way. And let us see our database design. Will it support 50 words? Description is varchar 500. Let us make it varchar max. Description may be long, right? I'll make it say, I'll save this. So this is the data that we want. Next, what do you want? What type of data? SQL data I want. What is the table name? Department. What type of database we have? SQL Server. I don't want create table, drop table, all these scripts. I want insert query. And in one insert query, I want one record. Insert batch size. How many rows you want? How many records I want? I want 50 records. Because it is, you cannot edit this. We are using free version, right? If you want to edit this, you need to use paid version. Or if you want to fix this, right click, inspect, change from here. Right. I want 50 records now. I'll say generate. Now you got 50 queries. Right? Now I'll say Control A, copy this. Let me delete all the records first. But can we delete? We have child records also. Is it not?
Yeah.
From here till this I can delete. Yeah. And this we will change. 98, 99. We have update, cascade on update. So it will adjust, no worries. Now I'll go for new query window. I'll paste all those queries. Got all the queries? You see, these are the values. It's taking randomly. Now I'll say execute. You should get 50 records. Got all the records? Fine. So in this way, you can insert dummy records as you like. Now, moving ahead. Is this clear? Insert is simple. I have shown you how to insert bulk amount of data also in this way. Delete and update query on department. If I want to delete a record or if I want to update a record, simple thing. This is department table. So these are the records that we have, for example. Now, if I want to delete 1000 record or 103 record, delete from table name. Delete from table name. I need to write where clause. I need to write where clause. Where 1003. If I do not write this where clause, if I say delete from department, it will delete all the records. I'll say delete from department where department ID is 1003. So it will delete this record. You want to update department table name. Set, what do you want to update? I want to update department name. For this QC, I want to name it as quality control. Description, I want to change it as control team. Where department ID is 1004. Update table name. Set, what are the columns you want to set? Comma this, comma this. For what record? Where department ID is set. Getting these things? Then you will get this result. 1003 got deleted and 1004 got updated. So this is your simple delete and update. Let's implement it. So dummy records, I have shown this. You can have multiple query windows, there is no problem. Number of query windows you can open. If I want to see the data, I can simply write simple select star from department, say F5. These are the records I have. Now I want to delete from department where DID, department ID equals to 100. Right? So I want to delete this record. One row affected. Now if you see this, see we are selecting this and we are executing, means it will execute only this query. If I do not select anything and if I execute, it will execute everything whatever you have in this query window. So now I'll select this and say execute. 100 is no more. Right? So this is your simple delete query. If I say delete where department ID is greater than 140, what do you think what will happen?
Delete
All the records after 140 will be deleted.
It will delete 1, 2,
the last 9 records.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 records it will delete. It will delete all these records. Fine. You want me to execute? 9 records it has deleted. So be careful when you use delete. You have only 40. Now, if I simply say delete from department, now what will happen? It will delete everything, all the records. Let's see. Shall I execute this? Delete statement conflicted with the reference foreign key. See, we have child records, right, for department, and we said no action on delete while making foreign key. Do you remember that? So it will not allow. It will say that there are some child records. You see in the employee table. Select star from employee. $99.98, right? Can I say delete from employee? So what will it do?
It will delete all the employee records.
Of the employee? Yes or no? What do you say?
Yes.
Yes. It will delete all the employee records.
Sorry. Yeah,
It will delete all the employee records.
exactly. It will delete all the employee records. If I say delete from employee. It has deleted all the records. Now we do not have any record. I'll go to employee. I'll add Peter p@gmail.com. That is gender. $1,000. Department ID. I'll leave it as null. Another record. Jack, male. Fine. Now, instead of delete, I will say truncate table employee. Have you heard about truncate? Very famous interview question. What is the difference between truncate and delete? Truncate table employee. Now let me execute this. Now first of all, see employee records. Let us see 2 records. It says commands execute completed successfully. Now let us see, do we have any records? So it is also doing the same thing, delete star from employees, and this is also doing the same thing, deleting all the records. Then what is the difference between delete and truncate? Sorry?
Truncate deletes both the record as well as the structure as well.
Very good. Structure is available, right? If I say star, select star from employee, structure is available. See, in simple words, or is a simple thing to understand, delete will delete all the records of the table, whereas truncate will delete the table and recreate the table. Are you getting my point? Truncate will delete the table and recreate the table. Truncate I cannot run on, let us see for department. Now I do not have any employees, right? So let us see for this truncate on department. Cannot truncate table department because it is being referred by foreign key. If you have foreign key on a table relationship, you cannot run this truncate command. But if I say delete from department, will it work? I'm showing all practical differences. It has deleted all the records. Are you getting my point? So because truncate is running commands, it is dropping the table, recreating the table. To drop the table, it should be free from any kind of relationships. It should not have any child tables, you can say. In other words, it should not have any child employees. Do we have any child table for employee? No. So you can truncate employee, but department, it has child table. So you cannot truncate department. If you want to truncate department, you remove the relationship, truncate it, recreate the relationship. Now the one more, the internal difference I want to show you.
So, Mansu, so if it recreates the table, then the identity will also start from 1?
Yes, exactly. It will start from 1.
Okay. Okay.
Now, see, for example, initially we got memory allocated for employee table is this. You started inserting the records. Memory is full. Then they extended the memory. Then they extended the memory. Then again they extended the memory. So now it is occupying, say, some 4 GB, and you have records. Now you want to delete all the records. If you say delete all the records, what it will do? It will delete all the records, but still it will occupy this much space in memory. Right? Are you getting my point? It has deleted the records, but it has not touched the structure of the table. Now table structure is this. But if you run truncate, that means it will drop this table, it will recreate. Now again you have 1 GB space allocated. Internal difference, have you understood? Truncate will free the memory which is occupied by this table when you have millions of records. If you have millions of records and you say delete star from or delete from employee, then it will delete all the millions of records. But it is not going to resize the table to the original or smaller size. Truncate will do that. That is the internal difference. That is
truncating that employee table, then it is gone.
yes.
It is
Recreating.
Another table.
Same name, same columns,
But it is
everything.
another table.
New table.
Then how come it's related to the department one that for foreign field?
New table it is creating with all same parameters. Same employee name. Yeah, it will make all the relationship is also available. See, this foreign key is still available. So internally, it is freeing the memory which has got occupied by this employee when you have millions of records. Now you do not have any record, so why should we occupy so much space? Let us start it with your initial space. This is the internal of your. I hope you understood the difference between delete and truncate. So very famous interview question. But it is not related to the developers. Developers normally they write delete, they do not write truncate. It is for DBAs, database administrators. Update is again same, but now we do not have any records. So let us re-execute this. Again you will get 50 records. Select start from departments. You got all the records again. Now update query I'm writing. Update department. Set. What do you want to update? I want to update department name. D name equals to QA. If I run this query, what will happen? All the departments will be QA.
All the departments.
But I should say where DID equals to 100. Right? One row updated. Now it is QA. If you want to update multiple columns, then you can put comma and you can write description and you can update that. I'll execute this. Double quotation. This is C# syntax. Fine. Now I'm going to introduce one more important topic in this. And I'm quite sure you'll really enjoy this concept that I'm going to explain now. Say one user, he saw that the department name of department ID 100 is QA. I'll leave this as I'll copy this. And what they thought, because it is QA, I want to I want to change it to QC. This is what user 1 has thought after looking at department. It is QA and they thought of changing it to QC. At the same time, another user in US, he also saw the department table and he saw that name is QA and he wanted to update it to PDG. Are you getting the thing? What is happening? One user in India is trying to update it to QC. Another user in America is trying to update it to PDG, because what the user in India he thought that it is QA. The user in US he thought that it is QA and they want to update it to PDG, and this user want to update it to QC. So what will be the result? What will be the actual change in the database? What will be the output?
Both are doing it.
Both of them are trying to make the changes.
Another column of PG and QC.
One executes last, it will have to execute.
Exactly. Whoever executes last, that will be the value. Simple concept, right? Whoever executes last, that will be the value in the database. Say for example, this user has executed it first, then this user executed it second. Now what will be the value in the database? PDG. PDG. There is nothing logical, right? Simple thing. This concept is called as last in win. We call this concept as last in win. This is concurrency control issues. If n number of users, they are trying to update the record at the same time, they are trying to access it concurrently and you want to control it. So this is concurrency control issue. So this concept is last in win. But what I want now, again coming back, both of them, they saw it is PDG and this department want to change it to QC, this person, and this person want to change it to QA. Now, what I want to change it to QC if and only if it is PDG. Before I make it to QC, if somebody has changed, I don't want to execute my query. Are you getting my point? Like what happened earlier, the second user, he read the record and he wants to execute it. In this meantime, somebody has updated it and he was not aware of that. Are you getting my point? Now what I want to make sure that whenever I want to update this, the value in the database should be PDG. Then only I want to update. Otherwise I don't want to update. How do I do that? Where department ID is 100, right? And here I'll say and department name equals to PDG. That's it. Update this if and only if department name is PDG. Change the department name to QC if and only if department name is PDG. So I'm comparing the old value. Whatever the old value I read, it should remain same at the time of update. Then only update it. Now, for example, here they have executed it. and this user does not know about that. Now this user tries to execute it. Now let us see what happens. 0 rows updated. Why? Because at the time of update, now department name is not PDG. Department name is not PDG. Now he says, okay, it has not updated the record. Let me see why. Oh, department has got updated to QA. Fine. I don't want to make an update now. Let us leave it. Got the point? You got the point? What about you? You got the point. So at the time of update, I want to compare with old value. If it is same what I read, then only it will update. Now at the time of update, this value was not PDG, it was QA. So it has not updated it. And this concept is called as optimistic concurrency control. Have you heard about this term? So term is very big, but this is a concept. Optimistic concurrency control. That means I am not sure about my query whether it will get executed or not, or whether it is going to make the change in the database or not. It is optimistic. In last in win, I am sure my query will get executed. Everyone is sure. That is optimistic. Sorry, that is last in win. And this is optimistic concurrency control, where it will change the value if and only if nobody has changed it by the time I read it and I'm trying to update it. In this short duration, if somebody has changed it, it will stop because old value has got changed. It was not PDG. So this concept is called as optimistic concurrency control. So in simple words, while updating, you compare old values. If old values remain same, then only you update. If that old value got updated, that means someone else somewhere has updated it. So let us stop that. Okay, 0 rows affected. Why? Because it has got updated. It is now not PDG, it is QA. Now you think, you decide, do you want to update now? Yes, I want to update. If it is QA, then update it to QC. Now it has got updated. Like we were looking for department ID 100, in the same way department name should be QA. So this is your optimistic concurrency control. I hope you got the point. Delete and update. We also saw how to insert dummy records. Now select query will start after a break. And I'll also show you how to insert records in multiple tables, dummy records, using our tool. I'll delete all these records. Okay, we have again some records in our employee table. This I don't want. So I'll leave it as is. This I want. Here we have queries. I'm going to give this. And this I want. Control X. Close this. And paste it here so that everything will be on single page. This I don't want. I'll go for department. It will delete all 50 records. Now my department table is empty. Employee table is also empty. Now we'll insert few records after the break. Yes. Fine. Now in department table, I'm going to insert records manually. 100 def development 101 testing department, 102 char human resource, 103 QC quality control. So I have manually added 4 records, right? Now I want to generate some dummy records for employees. Employee ID is auto generated, so I need not to pass any value for that. Employee name, gender, email, salary. So I'll go for this data generate back. Here I'll say employee ID is auto generate, right? EMP name. Let's refresh this and take new. Now I'll add the column names. EMP name. EMP name is of type names. I'll take names. I need not to go for any varchar, all this. It will automatically take some names. What you want, first name, last name, what kind of thing? I want mix both, first name plus last name. Next is gender. Now gender is something different. Male or female we need, that's it, right? So I will go for constant loop count custom list. It is not constant, it is custom list. Please select the list. Leave this as is. One male or female. This is gender. Either I need male or female. Next is email. Email is again same email. We need not to do anything new for that. We'll select email. It will take email value, some randomly. Then salary. Salary is again numeric. Number range. I want to assign salary between from 9,000 or from 1,000 to 10,000. Employee salaries. It will take some value between this range. Fine. Now I want to add one more row, that is one more column, that is date of birth. Date of birth. Date of birth is of type date. What is the format you want? DD YY. This is the format I want. From what date to what date? Date range. Because it is date of birth, I'll take from (1980) 1st January 1980 to 2000. 1st January 2000. This is the date range I want. So that is date of birth. Another is date of joining. Again, this is also date. Format same. DDYY. Now date range, I started my company in 2000. So I'll select 2000 till date, any date range. Or instead of till date, we'll make it 2015. Is active 1 or it is of type Boolean. 1 or 0, false or true, true, false. So I'll select this false or true. Next is DID. DID is foreign key, right? So again, it should be custom list. Again, it should be a custom list. What are the values? Or you can take number range, because we have already given some numbers, 100 to 103. Fine.
And so using this generate-data.com, can we create relations as well, or we can create a mock-up data only for one table?
Yeah, only for one table. See, from relation we are getting this department ID is foreign key, so its value we need to pass as custom list.
Okay, got it.
I'll go for SQL. Table name is employee. SQL Server. I don't want all these things. I want one query for one record. I want 100 queries or 100 records. Fine. We are getting as expected all the values. I'll say select all, copy, new query. Conversion failed when converting date time. See, now here it is expecting mttvideotutorials in query. When we were hard coding, it is that. So I'll change the format. It is mttvideotutorials. mmdd. It is regenerating. Now it is mttvideotutorials. Copy. Got all the records. Got it. Now you have ample of records. You can write any queries now. I'll go for new query window. I'll say select star from employee. Is it clear? We can also have few null values, right? Department ID can be null. So I'll add few null values, so that we should have all the combinations. We can test our queries properly. Foreign ID can be, foreign key can be null. Got it? Any doubt in this? We just created dummy records. This is what you have to do before testing your queries, or before start writing or learning queries. Now let us come back to our PPT. So we saw how to generate dummy data, dummy records for various types of columns also we have seen. When we have foreign key, that is also we have seen. Select query on employee table. These are the things that we are going to learn. Select star from table name, table and column aliasing, distinct expressions on column mathematical and cases, order by clause, single and multiple columns, top with ties, where clauses, all these things we will learn one after the other. What I will do, I will copy all these things. So these are the things that we are going to learn on simple select queries. These are all simple select queries. Paste it here and I'll comment it out. This is comment. It is not a part of query now. We'll learn first, we'll implement this. Select star from table name, you can write. This will resolve star into column names and then it will execute query. So this is not a best practice. Always you write the columns that you want to select. It will give better performance. Select employee ID from employee. You can select only one column if you want. Just we are selecting employee ID. If you want multiple column, employee ID, EMP name, gender, right, email. So you have multiple columns. I'll copy this. Now what I will do, I'll say employee E. So E is alias of table employee. Now the advantage of making alias, what I can say select E dot, you get all the columns. Now E is acting as an object of employee table. Now it will be simple for us to list the columns. E dot employee ID, comma E dot employee name, comma E dot salary. So this is table aliasing. Now E is working like employee table name, or if you want you can do in this way, employee dot, you get the column names, table name dot column name. But the best way is give an alias. Fine. But here you see column name is employee ID, EMP name, salary, but I want column aliasing also. For columns also I want some different names. Instead of employee ID, I want here as EID. Now you see column name. It will not change in the database, just at the time of rendering. It is EID. Are you getting? Now, what is the column name here? EMP name, same. So instead of EMP name, what I want to make it as employee name with a space. Now, when I take a space, there is an error. So aliasing should not have spaces. Now it is employee name. But if I want a space, then make it a string in single quotations. You can give space also now. Column name, aliasing. Is this clear? Not a big deal, right? Expressions on column. Expressions on columns. Now this is salary. This salary is basic salary, you can think. Salary is basic salary. this salary, whatever we are displaying, it is as basic salary. This is our basic salary. Fine. From employee E. Now, apart from basic salary, what I want, say I have my requirement something like this. 12% HRA, human resource plans, or home, or 11% DA from their basic salary. That will make a gross salary. Are you getting my point? If your salary is say 100 rupees, then I'll give you 12 rupees extra as HRA plus, that is 100 is basic, 100 plus 12 plus 11. So now your gross salary will be 123. 123. That will be your gross salary. So in my database, I have basic salary. I want to display gross salary. So I need to write some expressions on the column. That is your derived column. I told you, I'm not going to maintain a separate column for HRA, DA and all those things. So derived column, I'll put a comma. Now first of all, I'll calculate HRA. How do I calculate HRA? E dot salary into 12% means 12 by 100. 12 by 100 means 0.12. Any doubt in this? As HRA. This is your derived column. This is HRA, this is HRA, this is HRA from this salary. Are you getting? In simple word, this column is 12% of this column. This is your HRA, comma, DA, E dot salary into 0.11 as DA. Let me execute this. What is the gross salary? Basic salary plus HRA plus DA is gross salary. Now let us see that. Our basic salary is our salary plus HRA plus DA. Now there is an error. What it says? Invalid column names. Do we have these columns in our database? These are derived columns. So what I should do, instead of HRA, I should substitute the expression. Are you getting my point? Instead of DA, I should substitute the expression. As gross salary. Getting the things? Basic salary plus HRA is basic salary into 12% plus basic salary into 11%. This will make a gross salary. Now do you think this query is more meaningful? This is the basic salary. This is gross salary. Any doubt? Fine. This is how you can write your mathematical expressions. Say all the employees, they are HRA, DA, gross salary and basic salary we have. So anyway, here do you have any doubt in this? Anybody? While writing mathematical expressions? Not have any doubt. Fine, simple thing. Cases, shall I show you cases? Or is this enough for the day? Shall we continue? One more concept. Continue.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you cases as well. Mathematical expression you can write. You have one column as selling price, cost price. That selling price minus cost price will give you profit. So these mathematical expressions you can perform, right? Simple thing. Now, cases is interesting. Now I'll say select star from employee. Now what I want here, if gender is male, I want to prefix Mr. before the name. If gender is female, then I want to prefix Miss before the name. So in this kind of scenarios, I need to write cases. So here I'll just select three columns, employee ID, comma, EMP name, comma, gender. Now I want to update or I want to change this employee name column, right? I want to change this employee name column. This column I want to change. Execute this. This is what same thing we have. So I'll write case. When gender equals to male, then Mr. plus employee name. When gender equals to female, then Miss plus employee name. End. Is this clear? Or if you want to give alias to this, you can give as EMP name. One column we have modified, that is employee name, we have modified based upon the gender. Based upon the gender, if gender is male, then employee name should be prefixed with Mr. If gender is female, then employee name should be prefixed with Miss. This is the case we have written. This complete thing is a single column and I am aliasing it as EMP name or whatever you want. You can give or name. E-name. Fine. Now let me execute and see if it is working as expected. Got? Is it interesting? Cases, have you understood? Now, for this case, I'll give you one assignment. If I want one column as grade. I want a column as grade, or I'll show you that. Say I have two categories. If salary is less than or equals to, if salary is less than or equals to 5,000, then employee falls in B grade. And salary is greater than 5,000, then employee falls in A grade. I want to display grade of employee based upon the salary. Are you getting the point? What is my requirement? I'll select these three things. From employee, I have employee ID, employee name, salary. Now I want to display grade. I want one more column here. Salary I want as is. Now I'm generating a derived column based upon existing value. Based upon existing value. So I'll say case when salary is less than or equals to 5,000, then what do I want to display? I want to display A, that's it. When
Display B.
Okay, less than, so it is B. When salary is greater than 5,000, then display A. And in this case, as grade, this is the column name, from employee table. 5,000, very good. Is this column clear? Case. I'll execute this. Let us see whether we get the grades. Correct? Is this meaningful? I want to see it. So this employee falls in B grade, this employee falls in B grade, this belongs to A grade based upon the salary. So order by will go for order by tomorrow. Yes. New, yes, this complete case has one column. It will derive some value from this case and it will be assigned to this grade column. Yes. Again, if you have multiple cases, so I'll say like this also I want two cases you can write. Comma we have. This case is for employee name. This case is based upon salary derived column. Got it? So you can write multiple cases. There is no. Is this clear? Now I want to give you one assignment. That is, I have a student table with student ID, student name, std name, then gender, then marks 1, marks 2, and marks 3. We have all these things in single table as of now. Now I want you to write a query to display student ID, student name with title prefixed, that is Mr. or Mrs. based upon the gender, and write a query to display student ID, student name, with title. So you should understand title means, right? And grade. Now grade is calculated in this way. Grade is calculated based upon the average of marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Marks 1 plus marks 2 plus marks 3 by 3 is average. So if average is less than or equals to 35 or less than 35, then fail, right? If average is greater than or equals to 35 and less than or equals to 50, then third division, right? Average. Copy this. If average is greater than or equals to 50 and less than 60, then second division. If average is greater than or equals to 60 and less than 70, then it is first division. If average is greater than or equals to, here it is not equals to, it is less than 60, less than 70, greater than or equals to 70, and definitely it will be less than or equals to 100. There is no other option in this. Then have you understood the assignment, everyone? What you have to do, you have to create, see, today's assignment. First thing, you create that toys manufacturing database design so that you'll understand all the relationships with multiple tables. Create the database with the database design. Second thing, you practice these queries, whatever I have taught today. And third is this assignment that you need to implement finally. These are the three things you have to do. First, design that toys manufacturing database or create the database. Second thing is work out on all the queries that assignment is also there. Database diagram. Anyway, so you put it at the last. Why? Because tomorrow I'm going to discuss that. Database diagram is also there. So you are getting a lot of work, it means. So okay, we will do one thing. You leave this toy manufacturing database diagram or implementing the database. You work out on that assignment, database diagram. First thing. Second, employ whatever the queries we have done. Third, this is student query. This is fine. Tomorrow you can do one thing. Once I discuss that IT workshop management, you can design that database. That will be more meaningful. Hope you understood. Are you confused? Practice whatever we have done today and do this